everyone, welcome back to another episode, Walk the Talk Style, where we, as all things real estate, come together to collaborate in all walks of life. Whether you're a real estate agent, whether you're a support person, property manager, we want to hear about your story, your role, your life, your journey, what you do, your trials, your tribulations, everything that you contribute to this beautiful industry known as real estate. And again, today, we are joined by a wonderful guest who works in a support role and is a massive influence behind the scenes to empower our agents to be as successful they are. Michelle Christie, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me.
My absolute pleasure. So, as I said, Michelle Christie works behind the scenes with our agents from a support perspective. So I'm going to hand it over to Michelle. Michelle, tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe a little bit about your real estate history, which is a wealth of history, knowledge and experience, and maybe tie that into what you do within your current role support-wise for EXP and agents.
Sure can. Well, I'm based on the Gold Coast, Chris, as a lot of our corporate team, which although we work remotely and work from home, it's and we don't really get to see each other that often. It's just nice to know that those people are there and are close by. I've been in the real estate, I'm, as I said, living in Gold Coast, but I'm originally from Sydney.
Yep.
And I've been in the real estate industry for over 25 years.
Wow.
That's probably getting closer to 30, but, you know, maybe I should admit that.
So you must have started real estate at the age of 5.
Oh, yes.
And look,
like
that's great to know, because I didn't actually know that. I knew you'd been in the industry for quite some time, but nearly 3 decades. That's incredibly empowering, a wealth of knowledge.
I think I just wanted to stop counting, so I just say over 25. But yeah, I've owned and operated my own real estate agencies alongside my husband for many years in Sydney, and then we moved to the Gold Coast in the early 2000s. I was then, or we bought and we're partners in a purchasing of a major master franchise for Australia, a real estate franchise, which was once again a global brand that we, launched and ran throughout all states of Australia. And that was in the early 2000s, and then just had my own offices after that, sort of from probably 2014 to 2018. Right. And then I've been with EXP now for nearly 3 years, coming up to 3 years. So, it's been really great to be part of another global brand once again. It's something I can't sort of stress enough, that agents are so lucky to, have this sort of unique opportunity to be part of a global brand, because having those global connections and being able to toot yourself as, a global real estate company or being part of, it's a huge advantage for our agents that most agents in Australia don't have.
I must agree, and what you say resonates a lot with me, coming from being a master franchisee and a business owner. Obviously, I was a former business owner, and like you think so local when you're in that sort of business mindset, to now coming into a global company. It's amazing how big these things really are when you expose yourself to it. And, I still learn daily about global operations, but nearly 3 decades of knowledge in that mind of yours. I think, wow, what an incredible asset you are to our team and our business. And how fortunate we are to have you on our side, because I'd imagine throughout those nearly 3 decades of all sorts of models and businesses and ownerships and franchises, you've seen every marketplace, you've seen probably every economy, you've heard every excuse and win under the sun when it comes to real estate. And a lot of the talk at the moment with real estate agents is, the market's shifting, things are changing, it's going to get harder. And I'm sure you've seen it all before. So tell me a little bit about your role now. So how have you, because you're very versatile, let's be honest, because you've 3 decades, as we mentioned, across a variety of roles. You're super versatile and very agile for that reason. How have you been able to apply that skill set and that experience to what you're doing within EXP now?
Yeah, for sure. So, initially my role in EXP was to do this setup for EXP in Australia and get that launched, which is what we did back in 2019. And so now my role as realistically real estate business partner is to oversee and look after all the local operations now in EXP in Australia. So basically ensuring that our agents have all the tools and resources that they need to be able to run their own business within our business. So yeah, it is quite a varied role. And of course, as you know, a large chunk of my role at the moment is taken up with the trust accounting. So I manage and maintain the trust accounts across 5 states for EXP. And yeah, with EXP sort of hitting triple-digit settlements each month.
Yeah.
You
That's
can
a
only
lot of
imagine,
transactions.
how consuming that can be across the 5 states. But yeah, so apart from that, basically, I also am here to provide agents support in the commission, particularly and finance area. So, if an agent's got a query regarding their commission payment or a commission split, or if they want to know when they're going to cap in the EXP model, or if they're going to make it to reach ICON this year, they're the sorts of things that I can assist with. Also, any inquiries in regard to the agent equity program, I can assist with that there. An agent may have joined EXP as a commission-only employee, and then down the track, as many of our agents do, decide they'd rather become an independent contractor. So if they're wanting to switch over their agreements, for example, I can also assist them with that. And just basically, anything they need to know. Well, if I can't help them, I can always direct them to who can and what's the right way to go about it and who to talk to.
It's incredible. So, just to point out, it's almost like you're the CFO of the company we all go to as the chief of finance, because you know everything within this business, because you built it. You helped build the landscape from the foundations up when EXP first started here in Australia. And we got to commend you on the work that you did, because you built really solid foundations to propel it to where it is today. But, from trust accounting to operations to agent support, I'm hearing, to finance, equity, all this stuff. There's a lot that you're doing at the moment. And just to elaborate, for those agents that maybe are looking at EXP or don't really understand the model, the whole, thing with Michelle here is that you don't have to deal with trust accounting. So I'm the licensee for South Australia. We have a licensee appointed in each state. We work in collaboration side by side with Michelle. She basically does the trust accounting for now. We're actually about to start interviewing our next candidates for that trust role because of the growth we've had and the amount of transactions and volume we've got. But essentially, we check compliance with each other, don't we, in collaboration? You reconcile the trust account each day, you send it through to myself for audit and checking purposes, and then obviously authorization of the transaction. So Michelle's not only here as support for the agents, but she's also here as support for us as the licensee. So essentially together, we can help empower the agents just to really focus on what they need to be doing in listing, marketing, negotiating and selling.
That's right, because it's such, as you would know, it's such a massive thing for an agent, particularly someone who's independent, and having that trust account, having to look after and maintain that, it really is a headache. So for that to be taken off the table and away, and someone else is going to look after that for you, I think that is a really big relief in an agent's journey, for sure.
It's interesting because, coming from my former business life, I had some involvement in trust accounting, obviously, although I prefer to have someone like yourself with your skill set, expertise and knowledge do it for me. A lot of agents I talk to that want to go out into business on their own, they have no scope in their financial forecast or their budgeting or their planning for a trust account administrator or person. And one of the questions I often ask is, who's going to handle your trust account? Who's going to look after that? I haven't thought about that. Okay. Have you ever had any involvement? Because generally most people want to go out in business because they've been a selling agent. They've never actually run a business.
Yes.
And it's amazing how many agents overlook the mundane tasks that are required and the attention to detail absolutely categorically needed when it comes to trust account, and it is like daily, by the minute, by the hour.
Yeah,
You've got to be on the ball with that stuff.
And there's just so much background work that has to go into that, you know, prior to the transaction settling. So, you know, all those things have to be correct so that, you know, number one, the agent gets paid the correct amount and
Yes.
we receive the correct commissions. Yeah, so there just is so much background effort and work that has to be put in, which, yeah, for someone who, you know, is not in that kind of mindset and doesn't want to do that, like I said, it's a great relief to be able to hand that over and have that all done for you.
Well, absolutely. You're stronger in that category than I ever will be. So I thank you for your support to me to be the licensee that I am to our agents. So it's wonderful to know. So you're based on the Gold Coast. You work from home by the looks of it. We're in your home office, kitchen environment at the moment.
Well, no, dining room.
Dining room, okay.
I need a big table to spread out all this paperwork that I've got to deal with.
So how do you find
it?
So how do you find, like, coming from an office environment to working from home? How's that transition? Do you find you're more productive, less productive? Do you offer better value to agents?
Absolutely more productive. You know, and as a previous business owner, I would always recommend this kind of structure moving forward because, you know, you just do get you get so much more done.
Yeah.
Working without the interruptions of an office. There's just so much time that you can waste.
Lost time.
So easily. So yeah, you can get a lot more done in a day, definitely, from home without those interruptions.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear because I totally agree. Obviously, myself being a former business owner to now working from home as a practicing listing and selling agent and licensee, but speaking to all our support staff who have come from an office environment, who have run businesses like yourself, would not go back. I mean, I know I wouldn't go back because the productivity level has shifted, it's changed. And I know, talking to many agents, there's that scarcity around, well, I kind of need the office, and whether it's because it's belief in the brand or it's the water cooler conversations on Monday morning, what did you get up to on the weekend? Yeah. If you're prepared to lose that non-productive time, working from home is the perfect solution to be the most productive, I think, support person and agent that you can possibly be. And the great thing is, even though you're from home, as a licensee, I can reach out to you anytime and get a hold of you, and as can our agents, you know. So,
that's right. Yeah.
Incredibly empowering.
It's you know, it's a win-win all around, you know, for that convenience for us and the convenience for the agents to be able to access our support.
And it's great because, you know, you get to choose your lifestyle, because this is a work-life balance lifestyle. And even though we're probably working more than lifestyle at the moment because of the way things are market-wise, but, you know, speaking to a lot of the team, they get to work their ideal day. It's not like I have to be in the office at this time and I've got to be the last to leave because I'm the business owner. So I want to make sure I'm setting the example. It is, if you want to work your day into chunks, you know, if you want to get in earlier, so you leave a little bit earlier and the work's done, that's fine. You know, if you want to work a bit in the morning, do the school drop off and the kid pick up in the afternoon and work in between, that's cool. So I think this balance works incredibly well for agents, but also for the support staff like yourself who support and empower our agents. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, it works. Excellent. Awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you for taking the time out for this brief introductory into who you are behind the scenes, because a lot of people in the virtual world don't know who all these tremendous ladies and support team that we've got behind us that are there for each and every one of our agents. No longer do you need to have a person that's sitting and manning the front desk to think that you're getting the support that you deserve as an agent. We here at EXP are incredibly privileged to have wonderful people like Michelle working behind the scenes tirelessly as virtual support people for our agents based here in Australia as well. You're not overseas, as you mentioned, you're on the beautiful sunny Gold Coast. That's for sure. Lovely. Well, thank you for joining us, Michelle, and hopefully that gives you guys and girls into some insight of all things EXP support. And until the next episode, it's bye for now. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Chris. Cheers.